Jacob, Rod was just asked a minute ago if he'd ever seen you make a mistake in a game. Have you ever made a mistake in a game?
Absolutely, yeah. Multiple.
No, what are the biggest challenges of facing this team in this series? Obviously, it's been 3 games. 2 were shutouts. 1 was a wild game to finish the regular season. Just how do you get a gauge on this series?
Yeah, I think they're going to be a little bit of a mix of what we faced in the first 2 rounds combined, right? They got a big, pretty physical team, but they also got a lot of skill. And they got some guys that can skate. And so it's going to be a fun series, but it'll also be a new challenge compared to the last 2 series we just went through. But yeah, no, it'll be fun, and we're ready for it.
Jacob, this probably won't be as much of an issue for you, but how big of a factor will discipline be, kind of being a team like Florida who likes to kind of muck it up after whistles?
Yeah, I think if you look at the past couple of years that we've had, penalties always seem to hurt us in the end, and so it's something that we've been harping on a lot, is making sure we do stay disciplined. And so it's still a conversation for us, and it's something that we got to make sure that we just play whistle to whistle and not get caught up in some of that stuff.
Please raise your hand if you have a question. Right side, Lou.
Obviously, every team does things differently, but the Islanders and Devils may not have come in with a ton of momentum on the power play, and you guys obviously were able to snuff them out for the most part in those series. The Panthers present a different challenge than either of those teams, and if so, in what ways?
I don't know if different would be the right word. I mean, they got some really good guys, just like New Jersey and Islanders had, right? Top 5 guys on every team, and their power plays most of the time. They're skilled guys that can make plays with the puck if you give them time. And so I think going into this series, we just have to keep doing what we've been doing on the penalty kill, and stand to our structure and playing it hard and playing it well. And those are big moments in each game when you kill off a penalty. And so we take a lot of pride in that as a kill, and got to continue to do that.
Take a few more front left.
From a defenseman's point of view, Florida seems to have found guys on defense that have produced, whether it was Weegar the last couple years or now Forsling and Montour. Is there anything about the way they play that you think helps those guys like that succeed in their system?
I don't know if it's particular to an individual, but at the same time, I think their system might help. They're a pretty running, I mean, I don't want to say run and gun, but they're a very fast-paced team that plays long and lots of high flips, and so their D, it's easy for them to get up in the play. But those 2 guys individually are great skaters and have a good offensive mind, and so they're able to produce a lot this year.
Jacob, everyone always talks about your guys' system and your adherence to it and the commitment and the kind of the plug-and-play nature of it. How much of that traces back to Rod? What is it about him that's able to create an environment like this where guys are so willing to buy in and where it really doesn't matter who's in what position?
Yeah, I think most of that goes back to Rod. He's been preaching that ever since the moment he took over as head coach. Was you got to be consistent, you got to compete, you got to care. And so that's what he makes guys want to buy into it. One, because they have respect for him, right? He respects us as players, as people, and wants what's best for us. But then he shows it in the way he coaches the game still, that he's passionate and that he loves it and he wants to be out there just as bad as we do. And so, yeah, it's easy for guys to buy into it. I mean, it might not be the prettiest way to play the game of hockey, but it works. And when you have everyone doing it together, it looks good.
Last question, back left.
Jacob, Roddy just talked about, after 5 years, this one feels a little bit different where you guys are just, learning to win at this point in time. You've been here through all of this. Is that kind of what it is, just that maturity and growth of the younger core players that's, helping getting you guys to this point?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a couple of different things that play into it, but for sure the maturity of the guys who have been here for a while, and you got some older guys that weren't here that first year that are here now that are helping us win. And so no, it's definitely a collective effort of everyone doing it together, and understanding how you have to play at this time of the year, and how it can't be anyone going off on their own little adventure there with the puck or whatever, but everyone's bought into it, and it's working for us.